Hey, we're back. I'm your boy Mace. We're sitting here in DS Entertainment Central, and we're talking about a couple shows that are going to be coming and joining the channel now, because we have got them all preparated and put together, and they're going to be making their premieres in the next couple weeks. So, we're going to be talking about In the Headlights and The Gifted, and a show that my little one has made since taking after me and being an animator. Revenge of Cats 2.0. It's going to be pretty good. But before we get into all that lovely little craziness and stuff, I'm going to let you take a good look at what, In the Headlights is all about. It's a show I've been working on since 2004 with Mr. Ian Hamilton and Corey and I forgot what that boy's name was, Travis, who was one of the original members of the Dark Side crew. So we're going to take a good quick look at that, and then we're going to go into all our other shows. So here we go. So like I said, the show is about two southern possums. They're very Creole. They have very Creole voices. They have a what's going on, man? How we doing today? Can I get some cut up? What's going on there, dog? And the other brother, he's really big and fat and seems kind of slow, but he's not. So he is very like, boy, I think so. I can go to the paradise farm. I like Bridget. Bridget going with me. Bridget, my girlfriend. She funny, but she's so much fun to be around. Bridget funny. So like I said, they're two down and out possums. All their buddies want to go or going to Paradise Pond or want to go to Paradise Pond, and if they have the money, they're gonna go too. But leaving Jib and Sib there because they're, like I said, they don't have the money. They're living in a rotted out old tree, and living over the swamp, and the gators are attacking their home on a regular basis. So that whole little thing is going on with them. So one day, Jib just can't take it anymore, so he just wants to go. So he just gets up that ability and that ampness to get up and just go, and he drags his brother along with him. And so in that case, they're on their little way going to Paradise Pond, and the underlining joke is that what happens to a possum when it crosses the road? A possum usually most of the time can't make it across the road because they get splat, and the whole thing behind Jib is just like, his motivation is he wants to get out of the swamp so bad that he just goes to any length to do it. So he builds a trebuchet, and the trebuchet doesn't work. It just like slams him into the ground, and then he goes from doing that, he does the dead man cone, and the dead man cone doesn't work. He puts the dead man cone on his body and he waddles across the road, and then he gets hit because a car hits it, and then he can't get that to work by traditional means, so he goes and he gets an old William Tell Robin Hood bow and arrow. He takes the quiver and then arrow and pulls the arrow out of the quiver and just shoots across with the rope, and the rope is too long, and his brother's telling him it's too long, and all these things, and then he doesn't listen, so he swings across, and then he hits the ground and gets all messed up, and then the car hits him, and he gets wrapped up into the car wheel, and that sends him into the engine, and he bounces through the engine, and he gets shot out the tail of the car, and he comes flying through the air, and before he can land and hit the ground again, another car, he hits the front windshield of the car, and bam, he gets splattered, and the driver of the car looks up, and he's like, can't figure out where this possum came from, so he turns on the windshield wipers, and windshield wipers slapping him in the face, So he tries that, and then those methods don't work, so he's like, I can't do nothing else, so I'm going to try explosives. So he goes and he gets a cannon, and he orders it from like the old school, like Warner Brother Acme, company, order ourselves a cannon. So he gets a human, he turns himself into a human cannonball, puts on a little helmet, and he tells his brother to pull the rope when he gives the signal, and Jib is like, yeah, I'm going to do it, but Sib is so stupid, he didn't give him, He's like, I'm not going to wait for the signal. He just pulls the lever, and the whole cannon explodes, and And then that doesn't work, so he calls up Acme again and asks him, and he fusses him out, and he gets a rocket. And instead of sending him a rocket, they send him Acme firework rockets. So he straps the rocket to his back, tells his brother to light him up. His brother's like, it's fireworks, it's not a rocket. And he doesn't want to listen. He keeps telling Sid to shut up. So he lights up the rocket. Sid lights up the rocket, and the rocket goes off and he shoots him up. And instead of it fizzling out and coming back down to Earth and being on the right side where Paradise Pond is at, he ends up like exploding into fireworks, and it's like and you see him like fall back to the Earth as cinders and all kinds of like firework charged stuff. So that the explosive idea doesn't work. So he's like at a loss for all things. So he can't get that to work. So he gets like and tries to bait himself as like crocodile bait, because there's a crocodile crossing sign there. So beware crocodile crossing or alligator crossing, however you want to say. So he can't get that to work. So he ties himself up. Jib is hanging out there on the pole and dangling, and Sib is back there on the sign with the pole, but Sib is playing with butterflies and not paying attention what's going on with Jib. And before Jib even realizes what's going on and can yell to his brother, a crocodile jumps out the pond and out the swamp and snatches him down and pulls him down underneath the water. And so Sib is like freaking out because he doesn't know where his brother is, and he sees like bubbles coming out the water of the swamp. So he runs over to the swamp and tries to figure out what's going on, and his brother's coming out, and he smells like vomit because the alligator didn't like how he tastes. So, you know, he goes and he's like, what happened? What's going on? Sid is like trying to figure out what happened, bro. And his brother's like, please, not one word. And he goes to sit down on a rock and just starts to sulk. And then one of their like buddies from the swamp, Hefe Frog, hops past him and smiles at him to like toy at him and joke with him and pick at him. So he hops in the road and he does like this kind of Frogger thing. So if you remember the video game Frogger, he like, you know, if you're good at Frogger, you can hop from like little spaces and get past cars and like all kinds of rocks, and that's what the frog does. And he gets to Paradise Pond and gets this kind of euphoric like smile on his face. You know, that's how all the animals are, and that's one of the major draws to it for Jib to try to want to get to Paradise Pond, is because everybody who gets there seems to be on TV, and just from everyone talking about it, it's overly euphoric. So when he gets and sees the frog get over there, and the frog didn't even do anything, he just landed on that side, he's ultimately euphoric. You know, Jib is so upset, he just starts crying and just like spewing out tears like Charlie Brown, like, you know, that whole thing. And so Sib, his brother, you know how little brothers are. If you have siblings, your little siblings, they might fight with you. They might get, you know, outweigh word with you, but they love you so dearly. So they want to see you succeed, even though you're failing. They want to try to make it where you can succeed. So he goes, and the thing with Sib is Sib doesn't really care about Paradise Pond. He doesn't want to go, and he doesn't really want to leave the swamp. So he has no real major motivation for him to go, except for wanting to help his brother. And he sees his brother fail so much. So, you know, when his brother was all hit up and getting messed up in the street, he would go and pick him up and bring him back on the right side and be like, let's go home. And his brother didn't want to. So now Sib's motivation is trying to help his brother. So he goes, he picks him up, put him on his back, put a crash dummy helmet on him, and what is he? A possum. So he climbs up in the top of the tree, starts swinging from tree branch to tree branch, and gets to Paradise Pond. And when he gets to Paradise Pond, the whole joke, which like I said, the joke is like, you want something so badly. Jib wants to go to Paradise Pond so badly, but when you get to Paradise Pond, you know, you don't want it anymore. And that's the whole thing behind the joke. It's like he wants to get there so bad, and then when he gets there, he doesn't get what he wants, so he doesn't want it anymore. So he gets to Paradise Pond, and everybody around him is euphoric. Even his own brother becomes overly euphoric and gets big eyes and smiling and everything just like everybody else is, and he's not. So he's like, the hell with it, F it, I'm going home. And he walks back. All this trouble to get across the street, he walks back in the street, and then you hear like smiles of like, you hear like all these tire screeches, boom, bam, boom, elephants going trampled through, and all that kind of stuff. And all the animals are looking back. Even Sib is looking at his brother, and Jib walks off screen, and you hear all the sound effects, and all the animals are looking at, and they're like, and then they all just look at the screen, just do like this and smile with their big euphoric eyes, and that's the end of the short. And so, like I said, the underlying joke and the actual moral point to it, I guess, in that sense. Be careful what you wish for, and make sure that is exactly what you want, because if it's not, when you get it, you're not really happy with it. So that is the thing. Hi, we're back again, and that was what we call In the Headlights, and that's how it was all put together, and that's going to be the very first episode. We'll be making its premiere debut in spring of 2017, but before we get to that 2017 spring mark, we're going to be having little bitty shorts and snippets and tidbits, added in throughout this year before we get building up to the actual short debut in 2017. So, we got more episodes to come, and you'll get to see all their other little friends, Belligerent Badger, Studious Owl, is what Mr. John Nunez called him, and several other characters. What was it? I think it was 50 Cent. He wasn't 50 Cent. He was 20 Cent, because he had 2 dimes hanging from a necklace. 20 Cent Fox. So we'll be talking about all the other little characters going on within the headlights, coming as soon as 2017 comes into play. So that is one show that we'll most definitely be getting into. You've got to see a whole branch into that. Also, you'll be seeing, like I said, come 2017, the very first season of the show that the whole Dark Side crew has been working on for more than 14 years now, because it's just been that long, writing, changing, redesigning, us losing track of each other, people moving out of the state of North Carolina and out of the state of California, and some of us going back into the service, and all the parts of the world, and just coming back together, which is called The Gifted, like I said. And you'll get to see the very first season now, as it's been fully redesigned, new series about these special individuals with special powers, but their special powers don't come from being birthed. They come from their disabilities. Either you choose disability or superability. Young ones who were born with disabilities but have chosen to take their disability and make them super abilities and stand for the right of all mankind. So look forward to that, 2017. And one other show by my little young one here with my little protege. See, he likes the angler style. I'd like to draw and things like that, but trying to get her to move into organic plus angler style and come up with her own style, which is what she's getting ready to do. Miss Abigail, talk about your show, Revenge of Cats 2.0.
We are going to look at the designs for them. So, as you see Cats, he has a vengeful look. He wants to get revenge on the hamsters. Crazy eyes and claws on his hands and feet. He first had these doll claws, then he sharpens them, they become sharp to get revenge on the hamsters. And then we move on to Mike and Spike. As you see, Mikey has an eye patch and one dull tooth, one sharp tooth. And then we go to Spike. He has, as you see, spiky hair, and he has a collar with his name on it, Spike, and he has 2 dull teeth, and he has a kraken on one, and you will see how they got their teeth the way they are in The Revenge of Cats.
So those are all the new little animated shows that will be added to the DS Entertainment channel that will be coming to you very soon, and they're being designed and animated all here at DS Entertainment Central here in lovely Wayne County, North Carolina, and all cool stuff. Plus, you know, if you're looking forward to joining us come the first weekend in February 2017 at the Film and Video Game Conference, no other conference I think has ever stand out like that, where you have blending of film and video games together, and it's just going to be a lovely time. So go check us out at praxisfilmfestival.com, or you know, Carolina Game Summit, or you can come and check us out at dsentertainment.org, and we'll have a lot of information for you on those websites. Also, you can go to goldsboronc.gov, and it'll have other information about the conference and ticket prices, and pre-sales for the tickets go on September of this year, and you can go and buy your tickets so you can go to the film festival, or you can go to the game conference, or you can go to both, and all the ticket prices are very affordable, and it's going to help benefit a great cause, and you know, go to making the conference last forever. So we're going to move on from that, but I'd like to say thank you for listening, taking the time to get to talk with us, and as we say all the time, comment. We want to do that first? Okay, well, comment, share, and subscribe. Now, join the revolution, and we shall see you next time.